My name is Professor Jaime Ayuro, and I will be your coach for this morning on social science and social studies. Welcome to the Spearhead Capital Review Center. Let us begin. Question number 1. Art is a product of man's needs to express himself with a high degree of sensitivity toward his environment. Who among is a painter of fishers, folks, and farmers of his hometown in Rizal? A. Vicente Manansala. B. Carlos B. Francisco. C. Anita Magsaysay. And D. Fernando Amorsolo. The answer, letter B, Carlos B. Francisco. Vicente Manansala is from Pampanga in Macabebe, while Anita Magsaysay is from Manila, and Fernando Amorsolo is also from Manila, specifically from Paco. Question number 2. The biggest of the 7 continents of the world in terms of size and area. A. Asia. B. Australia. C. Africa. And D. Europe. The answer, letter A. Asia. Asia's size spans 17.2 million square miles or 44.6 million square kilometers. Africa ranks second with span area of 11.6 million square miles or 30 million square kilometers. Europe ranks 6th with a span area of 3.8 million square miles or 9.9 million square kilometers. And Australia is the smallest of all the 7 continents with span area of 3 million square miles or 7.7 million square kilometers. Question number 3. Which band played Marcha Nacional Filipino or the national anthem on June 12, 1898 during the declaration of the Philippine independence? A. San Francisco de Malabon Band. B. Kawit Cavite Band. C. Pangkat Kawayan. D. San Francisco del Monte. The answer, letter A. San Francisco de Malabon Band. Pangkat Kawayan was just formed in 1966 and there was no Kawit Cavite Band. Its name is the original Magdalo Band Kawit, hails and formed in 1896. And San Francisco del Monte, on the other hand, is an oldest district in Quezon City. Question number 4. The province in the Philippines which was called Mai by the Chinese in the 14th century. A. Ilocos. B. Mindoro. C. Cavite. And D. Palawan. The answer is letter B. Mindoro. This is because of the presence of the ceramics found in the province which hails from China that was unearthed, and it has been the proof of that province, okay, that there was already trading with the Chinese. Well, not to mention that Mai was mentioned in the Chinese and Bruneian documents having such trading activities with the other neighboring countries in Asia, particularly in Southeast Asia. Question number 5. It's the sum total of person's effort to cope with the stressful situation in life is called A. Reaction, B. Anger, C. Defense mechanism, and D. Emotion. The answer is A. Reaction. The defense mechanism is an automatic reaction of the body against disease-causing organism, while anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. Emotion is a biological state associated with the nervous system. Question number 6. What kind of cooperative system sells farmers' agricultural products? A. Service cooperative. B. Producers cooperative. C. Marketing cooperative. And D. Multi-purpose cooperative. The answer, letter B. Producers cooperatives. Service cooperatives are a type of cooperatives or known as consumers cooperatives, which helps to fill in a need in the society or community. They allow consumers the opportunity to supply their own needs, while multi-purpose is an organization which is owned and operated by the group of individuals for the mutual benefits. These cooperatives attempts to gain various objectives. Question number 7. Filipinos avoid frankness and confrontations. He likes to be pleasant even in the trying circumstances. What values is being described? A. Euphemism. B. Fatalism. C. Personalism. And D. Joy and humor. The answer, A. Euphemism. This is because euphemism is a mild or indirect word or expression substituted for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. Well, fatalism is the belief that all events are predetermined and therefore inevitable. Personalism, on the other hand, is the quality of being personal, especially a theory or system based on subjective ideas on or applications. Number 8. Lena migrated to Canada. After 10 years, she already adopted the culture of the Canadian. When she went home in the Philippines, she started to complain and had a hard time adapting to her new environment. This is an example of A. Adaptation, B. Accommodation, C. Amalgamation, and D. Differentiation. The answer, letter A. Differentiation. Amalgamation is the action or process or result of combining or uniting. And in sociology, it's the act or process through which a dominant group combine with a subordinate group to form a new group. Well, accommodation is a form of social interaction which we get used to the factors that are likely to lead to conflict or either by force or a habit. Well, differentiation is the classification or categorization of particular differences that fall into the same category. Question number 9. A sea is a great body of salty water, smaller than an ocean, more or less landlocked, which is a large part of the ocean or sea partly enclosed land. A. Strait, B. Lake, C. Canal, and D. Gulf. The answer is D. Gulf. Strait is a narrow passage of water connecting two seas or two other large bodies or areas of water. Example, the Strait of Gibraltar. Well, an artificial waterways are constructed to allow the passage of boats or skip inland or to convey water or irrigation. That is a canal. What about a lake? It's a large body of water surrounded by land. Okay? Next, question number 10. Who was elected Speaker of the Philippine Assembly in the year 1907? A. Manuel A. Rojas, B. Claro M. Recto, C. Manuel L. Quezon, D. Sergio Osmeña Jr. The answer is D. Sergio Osmeña. Manuel Quezon represents the 1st District of Tayabas. Claro M. Recto was then just a student in UST, while Manuel Rojas was just 15 years old then. Next, 11. Typical of Greek civilization without which a single political unit was able to stay strong. A. Town and cities. B. Strong army. C. Strong navy. And D. City-states. The answer? D. City-states. A strong army represented the states or city-states of Sparta, while a strong navy is what we call the defenders of city-states of Athens. On this particular point, the town and cities are basically from a different period, and that is medieval or Middle Ages. Question number 12. Which constitutional safeguards prevents one branch of government from becoming powerful or abusive? A. Disbarment. B. Impeachment. C. Laissez-faire. And D. Ombudsman. The answer, letter D, Ombudsman. Disbarment is a removal of a lawyer to practice his or her profession, while laissez-faire is an economic policy of let things alone or let alone policy. Okay, and on the other hand, impeachment is a government procedures of removing high-profile politicians like the president, vice presidents, okay, and senate president, speaker of the house. Okay, question number 13. The UP professor who discovered the Callao bone in Cagayan Cave. A. Robert Fox. B. Mary Leakey. C. Armand Mijares. D. Eugene Dubois. The answer, C. Armand Mijares. Robert Fox discovered the Tabon caveman in Palawan, while Mary Leakey together Richard Leakey discovered the Lucy Man together. Question number 14. Who was the Spanish mestizo who first led the secular clergy in the secularization movement in 1861? A. Jose Burgos. B. Gregorio Lipay. Z. Pedro Pelaez. And D. Jacinto Zamora. The answer, it's Pedro Pelaez. Because Gregorio Aglipay is the founder of Iglesia Filipino Independiente. On the other hand, the two priests mentioned are considered as the three priests, okay, who were garroted by the Spaniards in Bagong Bayan, and they are from then Cavite. Okay? Question number 15. Who among the Katipuneros used the pen name Agapito Bagong Bayan? A. Julian Felipe. B. Andres Bonifacio. C. Pio Valenzuela. And D. Emilio Jacinto. The answer, letter B, Andres Bonifacio. Emilio Jacinto was known as the writer of Cartilla, while Julian Felipe composed the music of our Philippine national anthem. Okay, while Emilio, Pio Valenzuela, together with Jacinto, work on the Kalayaan publication. Okay, number 16. Which policy of the state provides preferential attention to the welfare of less fortunate members of the Philippine society? A. Distributive society. B. Social justice. C. Bill of Rights. And D. Criminal justice. Okay? The answer is social justice. Distributive justice is a concept that addressed the ownership of goods in a society, while Bill of Rights were listings of human rights in 1987 Philippine Constitution in Article 3. While criminal justice, on the other hand, is the delivery of justice to those who committed crimes. Question number 17. Who was appointed Field Marshal of the Philippine Army, responsible for the defense of the country prior to the Japanese invasion or occupation? A. Carlos P. Romulo. B. William Howard Taft. C. Douglas MacArthur. And D. Dwight Eisenhower. The answer, C. Douglas MacArthur. Carlos Romulo was the first Filipino to be the president of UN Assembly. William Howard Taft, on the other hand, was the 27th president of US and became the head of the second US Commission to the Philippines, while Dwight Eisenhower is the 34th President of United States of America. Question number 18. He stated the famous line, "Might is right," which pertains to a political realist rather than a political idealist. A. Mahatma Gandhi. B. Martin Luther King. C. Benigno Aquino. D. Julius Caesar. The answer, B. Martin Luther King. Gandhi was an Indian lawyer from India, okay, who's the father of Indian independence, while Benigno Aquino was a politician then who was of course exiled in US. Then we have Julius Caesar, famous for the statement Vini Vidi Vicino, I came, I saw, and I conquered. Question number 19. Who was a Spanish commander who led an expedition against the Incas Empire, setting up settlement as far as Buenos Aires in 1536? A. Hernando Cortes, C. Vasco da Gama, C. Inés de la Cruz, J. R. Paul, and D. Francisco Pizarro. The answer, letter D. Francisco Pizarro. Hernando Cortes was a Spanish conquistadores and who had explored and defeated the Aztecs of Mexico, while Vasco da Gama reached Cape of Good Hope, and Inés de la Cruz is a philosopher, at the same time composer and a poet. Question number 30. Who was the Spanish Governor-General who established the tobacco monopoly in 1781? A. Francisco Rizzo, B. Jose Basco, C. Basilio Agustin, D. Rafael Izquierdo. The answer, letter B, Jose Basco. Rizzo was an acting Spanish Governor-General, while Basilio Agustin became a Governor-General replacing Fernando Primo de Rivera, and Izquierdo served as a country with iron fist. Okay? Next. 21. The father of modern economics. A. Karl Marx. B. Robert Owen. C. Adam Smith. And D. Jose Basco. The answer, letter C, Adam Smith. Karl Marx was the father of communism. Robert Owen was the founder of utopian socialism. Okay, while Basco, on the other hand, is the founder of tobacco monopoly in the Philippines. Question number 22. The measurement of the total value of country's economic production. A. GNP or Gross National Product. B. National income. C. Net National Income. And D. Per capita income. The answer, letter A, Gross National Product. National income is a money, okay, which has value of all goods and services produced in a country during a financial year. Well, net national income is a sum of income taken from all sectors, including personal, business, and government, while PCI or per capita income is the average income earned per person in a given area, city, or any region or country. Next, 23. The fundamental law of the land. A. Republic Act. B. Constitution. C. Ordinances. And D. Executive Order. The answer, B. Constitution. Republic Act is crafted and passed by the Congress of the Philippines and approved by the President, okay, from the Executive Department. While on the other hand, ordinance is a local legislation produced on the city or municipality. And executive order is a law approved by the President. Question number 24. Tigris and Euphrates was considered the center of civilization of what country? A. China. B. Egypt. C. Greece. And D. Mesopotamia. The answer for this, letter D, Mesopotamia. China's center of civilization is from the twin river of Huanghe and Yangtze. Okay, while from Egypt we have the twin river of Nile, and for Greece we have Aegean Sea. Okay, next, 25. The expert whose focus was in identifying artifacts. A. Paleontologists. B. Archaeologists. C. Geologists. And D. Anthropologists. The answer, B. Archaeologists. Well, paleontologists focuses on fossils. Geologists focuses on earth structure. While anthropologists focuses on the origin of man and its culture. Now, 26th. The study of love for wisdom. A. Psychology. B. Philosophy. C. Linguistics. And D. Demography. The answer, letter A. Philosophy. Psychology is a study of human behavior, while linguistics is a study of languages. On the other hand, demography study the distribution of men or population around the globe. Okay, 27. The study of satisfying wants and needs of men. A. Economics. B. Philosophy. C. Linguistics. And D. Demography. The answer, A. Economics. Well, philosophy is the love for wisdom, while linguistics is the study of language, and definitely the economics is the study of consumptions and utilization of products. Case number 28. An economic activities that transport products from one place to another. A. Production. B. Allocation. C. Distribution. And D. Consumption. The answer for this is letter C. Distribution. Because production is the creation of products. Allocation is the division of produced products. While demography is the study of the distribution of population. 29. An economic activities that is utilization of products. A. Production. B. Allocation. C. Distribution. And D. Consumption. The answer for this is letter D. Consumption. Production is the creation of products, while allocation is the division of major products or products produced, while one choices, okay, like the distribution is the transportation of the products produced from the warehouse to the market. Okay, now number 30. The study of origin of words. A. Demography. B. Ethics. C. Humanities. And D. Etymology. The answer is D. Etymology. Demography is the study of the distributions of population, while ethics is a science of morality, and etymology is the answer. For humanities is the studies of arts and other fields. Okay? Now 31, the term for the upright man in the theory of evolution of Darwin. A. Hominid or homonid. B. Homo erectus. C. Homo habilis. And D. Homo sapiens. The answer is B. Homo erectus. Why? Hominid is ape-like primate, while Homo habilis is a handyman or ancient man using tools, while Homo sapiens is a thinking man or the wise man. 32. The country where El Pulibisturismo was published. A. Germany. B. Belgium. C. Hong Kong. D. Spain. The answer? Letter B. Belgium. It's because Germany is the place where No Limit Tangere was published, and Hong Kong is it's a place where Rizal had opened his eye clinic. Now, in Spain, it is where Rizal continued his studies, specifically in the program medicine. Okay. Next, 33. The branch of government ran by the Speaker of the House and the Senate President. A. Legislative. B. Executive. C. Judiciary. And D. Ombudsman. The answer, letter A. Legislative. Executive is run by the President. Judiciary is run by the Chief Justice and other salons, or the other lawmakers rather. And Ombudsman is run by the Chief Ombudsman. Next, 34. The Republic Act for Bayanihan to Heal as One. The program, the law that helps Filipinos on the effect of COVID-19. A. RA 10533. B. Republic Act 1425. C. Republic Act 11469. And D. Republic Act 10354. The answer is C. Republic Act 11469. RA 10533 is the law that created the K-12 or the K-12 law. On the other hand, RA 1425 is the Rizal Law that explains that public school and private school on the college and high school are ought to teach the writings of Rizal and lives and works. And letter C, RA 10354 is the reproductive health law, okay, which is became a controversial no of delimiting the population. Okay? 35. The first national artist in the field of painting. A. Fernando Amorsolo. B. Pablo S. Antonio. C. Leve Cirillo. And D. Lamberto Avellana. The answer, A. Fernando Amorsolo. Pablo S. Antonio is a national artist on architecture. Levi Celerio is a national artist in music and literature, while Lamberto Avellana is the national artist in the field of cinema. Okay? Next, 36. In the 1987 Constitution, what article can we find the Bill of Rights? A. Article 1. B. Article 2. C. Article 3. And D. Article 4. The answer is C. Article 3. This is because Article 1 is on national territory, while Article 2 is on the state principles and policies. Letter C, or the Article 4 is citizenship. 37. In the 1987 Constitution, what article can we find the citizenship? A. Article 1. B. Article 2. C. Article 3. And D. Article 4. The answer is Article 3. Oops, it's not Article 3 because Article 3 is Bill of Rights. The answer is citizenship can be found in Article 4. Okay? 37. In the 1987 Constitution, what article can we find the judiciary? A. Article 5. B. Article 6. C. Article 7. And D. Article 8. The answer is D. Article 8 because Article 5 is suffrage, no? This is the right of the person to exercise his right to vote, while Article 6 is legislative department and Article 7 is the executive department. Next, 38. The term of office of the president. A. 1 term. B. 2 terms. C. 3 terms. D. 4 terms. The answer is A. 1 term only. No re-election. 2 terms is for the vice president. No? 3 terms is for the mayor and congressman or House of Representative members. Now, 4 terms, there is no position for this in our country. There's no term of office like this in our country. Next, 39. Who was the founder of La Independencia? A. Antonio Luna. B. Apolinario Mabini. C. Graciano Lopez Zaina. And D. Emilio Jacinto. The answer is D. Antonio Luna. Graciano Lopez Zaina is the one who established La Solidaridad. Emilio Jacinto established Kalayaan and created Kartilya ng Katipunan. Well, Apolinario Mabini was the advisor or the little president of Emilio Aguinaldo. 40. The second largest continent in the world. A. Asia. B. Africa. C. Europe. And D. Australia. The answer is B. Africa. Asia is considered until now the largest of all continents. Well, Europe is considered the 6th largest continent, while Australia is considered as the smallest continent or the 7th largest continent. Next, 41. The third largest continent. A. Asia. B. Africa. C. North America. D. Australia. The answer is C. North America because Asia is, as we all know, the largest. Africa is the 2nd largest. And Australia is the smallest or the 7th largest. 42. The country where Rizal met Nelly Bosted. A. Hong Kong. B. Japan. C. France. And D. Belgium. The answer is C. France. Rizal met Josephine Bracken in Hong Kong. Rizal met Usei Zan in Japan. Rizal met Hussein Jacobi in France. Okay? I'm sorry. In Belgium. Next, 43. In the Philippines, where did Rizal studied medicine? A. Letran. B. UST. C. UP. And D. Ateneo. The answer is B. UST. Well, Letran, he did try to pass the entrance exam, but then he did not went there to study. In UP, he did not even study there because UP was not yet open. And C. Ateneo, it is where Rizal first studied. Number 44, the capital city of Finland. A. Rome. B. Paris. C. Helsinki. D. Berlin. The answer is Helsinki, letter Z. A. Rome is Italy's capital. Paris is the capital of France. Berlin is the capital of Germany. 45. The title of Article 6 of the 1987 Constitution. A. Suffrage. B. Executive. C. Legislative. And D. Judiciary. The answer is letter C. Legislative. Suffrage is the Article 5, while Article 7 is about Executive Department and Article 8 is about Judiciary. Okay? Number 46. How much is the approved budget for 2021 as approved by the Congress? No? A. 4.506 trillion pesos. B. 4.10 trillion pesos. C. 3.62 trillion pesos. D. 3.77 trillion pesos. No? The answer is A. 4.506 trillion pesos. 4.10 trillion is the budget. Okay? National expenditure budget on year 2020. 3.62 trillion is the budget on 2019, while 3.77 was the trillion pesos was the budget on last 2018. 47. The controversial CEO and general manager of PhilHealth that resigned to his post. A. Chief Morales. B. Chief Dairit. C. Chief Garin. D. Chief Geran. The answer is A. Chief Morales. Chief Dairit is a current and the former Secretary of Department of Health, while Chief Garin is a former Secretary of Health, but these two were of course linked on the said issue. And letter D, Chief Geran is the new Chief of PhilHealth as appointed by our President Duterte. 48. A river valley where civilization of India originated. A. Wangho and Yangtze. B. Tigris and Euphrates. C. Indus and Ganges. And D. Nile River. The answer is letter C. Indus and Ganges. Wangho and Yangtze is the river valley where the civilization of China started, while the Tigris and Euphrates was a twin river valley where civilization started in Mesopotamia, or what we called Iraq. Well, Nile River is the twin river, okay, where civilization of Egypt, the land of pharaohs, started. Now, 49. The capital city of Sri Lanka. A. Ceylon. B. New Delhi. C. Baghdad. And D. Ankara. The answer is letter A. Ceylon. New Delhi is the capital of India, while Baghdad is the capital of Iraq, while Ankara is the capital of Turkey. Okay? Last question, question number 50. If Mesopotamia is Iraq, what about Persia? A. Chosen. B. Mai. C. Iran. D. Magna Graecia. The answer is C. Iran. Because Chosen is the old name for Korea, while Mai is associated to the Philippines as given by the Chinese traveler. Okay, and Magna Graecia is the term connected to a European country known as Greece. Okay? So that ends my review session with you guys. I hope you learn and gain something on this particular review. Always remember, keep in touch yourselves with current events because this is so essential. At the same time, browse what? Get your old notes on history and other social science discipline for you to be enhanced further. And of course, do not forget Spearhead Capital Review Center is here of course to help you realize your dream to be an LPT or licensed professional teacher. Okay? So thank you so much for listening. Good morning once again.